last night.
The season was over in August. I mean, I think all the hope is by the man out in California who wants to take that PJ. Once he leaves at half or once he leaves the first quarter, he didn't get in late. Jay. That wasn't late. He's still pretty early. You know what I mean? He bowed out. I don't think we didn't all see it, Stephen A. We all saw the little smooth exit right before the pump block. He dapping everybody up and going. But no, this has been a problem from management from March, right? With the whole Micah Parsons thing as it went and played out through the offseason, when we got to the season and everybody's saying, oh, no, we're going to have enough offense to carry us, and Dak can do this, and we got a good offensive line, we got great receivers, we got great back, all that can be true. There is no margin for error for the Dallas Cowboys. And I've played on really good offenses, and what you saw last night is the absolute worst. When you start slow, this team gets out to a lead. Now you feel all the pressure. Next thing you know, Ferguson fumbles. Then we got Dak. Everybody's trying to press. It's what happens when you can never rely on a defense. And the truth was, the defense really didn't even play that bad.
No.
At the beginning, right? So it's like they didn't. You can't expect your offense to carry you week in. It's got to be complementary football. They don't got it, and it's disappointing to watch.
Yeah, the defense was the one that got the first points on the board, right?
Exactly.
With the block, recovered for a touchdown. But to your point, Jeff, the season has been over for a while now, and if we're being honest about it, the Dallas Cowboys are not a Micah Parsons away from being a good defense. This was going to be.
It would help.
Well, you're saying it would help. The Dallas Cowboys are allowing opponents to score on 49.5% of their drives. That's tied with the Cincinnati Bengals for the worst in the league.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's more than just one player away. And so if we're looking at it objectively, the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think they necessarily made the wrong decision in moving on from Micah Parsons. I think the issue that everybody is having is that relative to what they thought the Dallas Cowboys could do coming into this season, the reality of the roster just ain't there. And so it feels like this fall that's far from grace, but in reality, the Dallas Cowboys were always going to be up against it because of the roster construction and being so top-heavy. So, again, the Dallas Cowboys season, it's over. There are 10 teams in the conference that have a better record than them. The only teams that they have more wins than in the NFC are my New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints.
Right.
So, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys ain't going nowhere this year.
Can I just say this? Because one thing you just said, I just want to say that I understand that you're not one Micah Parsons away, but Micah Parsons does erase a lot. Listen, sack fumbles matter, sacks putting teams behind the line, like all of those things. The reason that we call him a game wrecker is because they really do change. Now, do they erase all problems? No, because they had problems with Micah there. I'm not saying that, but you and I both know dudes like that aren't the ones you want hitting the street, because it can flip games and it can flip scripts to help you. Those big moments, big plays. It's not changing your defense in totality, but it definitely helps. That's why
the Dallas Cowboys were 31st scoring defense last year.
I get it. That's what I'm saying.
They were awful.
They're really bad defensively.
They were awful last year.
We thought at least maybe they would hang their hat on their offense last night. That didn't happen either.
Yeah.
Stephen A., do you think the Cowboys season is officially over after what you witnessed firsthand last night?
Oh, hell yes. It's definitely over. I mean, it's pretty damn bad. And I have to admit, I'm kind of sad about it because, as I've tried to tell people on many, many occasions, I want them relevant, and I want them doing well, and I want them having the good Thanksgiving or whatever, and I want their expectations to be high and then plummet. I want them falling off a cliff, not a curve. And that's unfortunately not going to be the case, because we all know right now they rank 11th in the NFC conference, for crying out loud, and they're not going to leapfrog over teams. I mean, the Eagles have already beaten them. The Chicago Bears have already beaten them. You saw what Arizona just did to them, okay? So they have a better record than the Dallas Cowboys. Every team in the NFC North has a better record. 3 teams in the NFC West have a better record. Then there's Tampa in the South of Crown. I mean, you just look around, and it's just pretty bad. And I think what puts it in its proper perspective to really, really encapsulate, what the Dallas Cowboys are this particular year. Do you know that the Dallas Cowboys are 0-5? They are winless when scoring fewer than 37 points. So that just tells you everything you need to know. You have to score damn near 40 points a game to win if you're the Dallas Cowboys. And so you look at it from that standpoint. You can't have an offense that goes out there against the Arizona Cardinals. Dak Prescott's getting sacked by Calais Campbell and others. And then on top of it all, you only scored 10 points as an offense. We took for granted. I thought the Dallas Cowboys were going to put up about 35, 40 points last night and possibly lose. But I certainly didn't see their offense being this anemic. And like Jeff said, there is no room for error. Yet somehow, some way, when that is the predicament that the Dallas Cowboys are in, that's exactly what they turn around and do, commit errors. And so that's unfortunate. It is what it is. But none of us can sit here and say that we're surprised. We can't.
Listen, when you hear Troy Aikman after the game say, like, the record is who you are,
yeah.
This is not a good football team. Dak Prescott throws for 1 passing touchdown. Last week he had none.
Yeah.
Stephen A. just said they got to put up 40 points and your quarterback's not even throwing touchdown passes 2 weeks in a row. This is problematic. Maybe the only saving grace is the fact that the NFC East isn't that great of a division.
Right.
Maybe that's the only way they can dig themselves out.
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are tied for the best record in the conference. So we say it's not that good of a division, but the reigning defending champs have the most wins of anybody in the NFC. And, oh, by the way, it doesn't look like you're anywhere close to their level. And the Philadelphia Eagles already have a game in hand against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah. They're just, I mean, listen, the idea that they're going to compete, I just think is, and I said it last week, and everybody, they had a 0% chance, and I was using hyperbole, the whole deal, right? But it was like, what I'm trying to explain to people is that when you're asking one side of your football team. I mean, just think about Joe Burrow and the Bengals last year, right? Like when you're asking your offense to do everything and they go through a slump, because we all are, like defensive coordinators understand what we're trying to get accomplished. They're going to figure Schottenheimer out as well, right? Like we all do. And then Brian will make adjustments and he'll, that's kind of the flow of the NFL. It's not like all your stuff works all the time. But when teams are scoring at 50% a clip against you, I don't care what anybody says, you do feel the pressure and you do try to make things happen. It's like the Ferguson fumble, right? Because you're trying to make things happen.
That was the best moment in the game for me.
Yeah.
Because we got to see Stephen A. right next to Jerry Jones with that smirk on his face.
Boy, he had a smirk. And I was
looking at Jerry, so despondent. That was the best moment of last night's game.
Look at you doing the